Kaj je feminizam? Šta je to, evo te, da li se to jede? Kaj je? Feminizam je naziv za skupinu ideologija. Najviše volim ove ideologije. Dakle, radi se o feminizmima i političkih pokreta kojima je cilj bio poboljšanje položaja žene u društvu, odnosno izjednačavanje prava žena s pravima muškaraca. Vidiš, mnogi mogu pročitati ovu definiciju i opet ne skontat šta ovdje piše. Žene koje su oboljele od feminizma, nego postavlja se pitanje kako žena uzme furseta i kako postane radikalna feministkinja. Nije to bez veze. Mora postojati razlog, brate. Isto ko kad te žena prevari. Zašto te žena prevari? Ne prevarite bez veze. Prevarite zato što ili te je sita, ili te nije sita. Ako te, brate, nije sita, ode fino nađe nekog ko može da je zasiti. Isto tako žena fata furseta kad ima mlakonju u kući. Te žene su stari ljudi, najbolje okarakterisali. Stari ljudi, brate, najpametniji. Pusti ti, kaže, stara generacija, nisu dovoljno obrazovani ko mi. Ne znaju kao korist kompjutere ko mi. Alo, pa ko je mudrac? Ko je mudrac? Uvijek je mudrac, brate, od 112 godina. Ne možeš biti mudrac, 22 godine ne znam sline obrisat. Ti mi biti mudrac. Stari ljudi su takve žene nazvali rospijama. Rospija, brate, rospija. Slušaj, rospija. Nema mi draže riječi od rospija. Nekako sladunjavo. Takvim ženama treba samo jedna stvar. Long dong silver. Da je dobro i starlaha, znači da ju smiri crve, da ju više ne naumpadne rospijanstvo. Možeš me mrzit koliko hoćeš, možeš me objaviti na koji hoćeš portal sa kakvim hoćeš naslovom, člankom i slikom. Komentarisaš šta hoćeš, ne moraš se složiti sa mnom nikad. Džabati sve, ako nema long dong silver. Znači možeš imat sve, pare, kuću, stanove, auta, putovanja, ljepotu, edukaciju, sve! Ali mir i sreću u kući pravi jedino long dong silver. A misliš da nije tako, jel? Pa zašto te i kako žena prevari? Ne prevarite sigurno što kod drugog muškarca ima bolja i veća tepsija za pravljenje pite, pa ode ona kod njega da njemu i u njegovoj tepsiji pravi pite. A ti, prevarila me žena, pravi kod drugog muškarca pitu. Ne prevarite zbog televizora. Znaš, kod tebe 32 inča Full HD, a kod nekog drugog muškarca 46 inči 4K. Prevarila me žena, otišla s drugim muškarcem gledat filmove. Nije ni to. Prevarite zbog nečeg drugog i na neki drugi način. Znači nisu u pitanju brojevi tepsija ni inči televizora, nego centimetri long dong silvera. Rospije. Tic tac, tic tac.
Ispunjavam 3 od ovih 7 kriterijuma zbog kojih ne biste trebali da me ženite. Realno super, dobro je, nije loše, ali mislim da to još može mnogo bolje, da bi trebalo da radim na tome. Tako da se nadam da će do kraja godine biti barem 4. Naprimjer, mogla bih da odredim jednu tetovažicu, realno uvijek sam htjela tetovažu. Hvala ovim muškarcima što ovako javno prave ove baš kreativne, super liste, jer onda žene odmah znaju koga treba da se klone.
Ima jedna izreka, stari, mudri ljudi su to jednom rekli, kaže, čega se budala stidi, pametan se ponosi. Nije. To je bilo u slučaju ovih, jel tako, izreka zapravo glasi čega se pametan stidi, budala se time ponosi. Ima na YouTubeu, na TikToku, Twitteru, Redditu, nebitno, generalno ima na mrežama gomila klipova muškaraca na ovu temu gdje je objašnjeno u principu zašto ovo mislimo, nije nasumično, nije ništa random, nije uglavnom da analiziramo brzinski pod jedan samohrane majke zato što je to indikacija na njihov loš izbor, to je na nesposobnost biranja partnera, a to je u korelaciji sa nekim drugim stvarima. Znači, mislim, ako je neko samohrana majka, vrlo je, jest taj lik možda otišao ili umro ili šta god mu se desilo, ali u prosjeku muškarci odu. Zašto odemo? Pa ne zato što smo loši i zli, nego niti je on taj, niti je ona ta, što se kaže. Znači, shvatio je frajer da ga je gurao iz greške, znači došlo, gornja glava je preuzela kontrolu i vi u fazonu što će se umri, bom i otišao, sad je bi ga to što se dete desilo, to je nesretan slučaj, to nije trebalo da se desi, ali suštinski, razumeš, sad ovaj problem nije postojao pre, zato što su i očevi svojim ćerkama birali muževe i taj problem je više manje bio rješen time. Sad to nije odgovaralo upravo ovakvim dronfuljama kao ova i da dobile su žene pravo da sebi biraju muškarci i to sve, ali onda su vrati one jedine odgovorne za taj svoj izbor. Ne možeš sad kao isto kao da ja odlučim da opljačkam banku i onda okrivim nekog drugog kad policija dođe, nigde veze. I sad, ako si ti lik koji prihvati da odgaja tuđi dete, vrat, imam loše vijesti za tebe, ti si kaki beta, razumeš? Zato što, zašto bi to radio, treba da imaš svoje potomstvo. Neću da objašnjamo u detalje zašto je ovo. Jednostavno, ta deca neće da te ni vole ni cene, jer deo toga je genetske prirode. Ljudi su kroz gene povezani, jel tako, međusobno. To je malo kompleksnija tema i nije sad nije za ovu priliku, nije za ove ljude. To su teme za pametne ljude. Tako da, to što se tiče tačke 1, tačka 2, parti, devojke, mislim da nema potrebe puno da se objašnjava, to su ljudi koji nemaju sadržaja u životu, čiji je dan isprazan, jednostavno nemaju šta da radi, onda idemo da se namujemo, to jest da se pod navodnicima uspavamo. Malo koka, malo Coca-Cola, što kaže Fazlija, droge, cigare, urvanje i evo ga, prošlo je dan, vrati, ispunili smo ga. Sad što nismo ništa pametno uradili, ništa nismo postigli, ništa nije završeno i to sve nema veze, mi smo se zabavljali, I sad zabava i igra nije problem kad si malo dete, jer kad si malo dete, vrate, šta ćeš da radiš, Ali kad si već odrasla osoba koja se sebe tvrdi da je jaka, samostalna, odgovorna i to sve, ali tako, onda već bi trebalo da budu tu neka, izrelija ponašanja. Znači, ne možeš se s 15, vrati, iz 30 ponašati isto, to nema smisla, jer onda to ispada da si 15 godina, šta, bio u ledu zamrznut, šta, u hibernaciji, šta si stagnirao, šta si spavao, malo je, normalnim ljudima ovo ne mora da se objašnjava, ali ovdje imamo posla sa utreniranom retardacijom, to je poenta ideologije, treniranje retardacije. Mislim da, ne mora da objašnjam tačku dva posebno i vrlo jasno. Šta kaže dalje? 3 devojke s tetovažama. Pa vidi, s tetovažama je stvar još prostija. Tetovaže su medicinski debilna pojava, zapušavaju limfne čvorove, možeš da dobiješ trovanje, da ti uđe u krv i tako dalje, znaš. Sad da ne objašnjam taj neki aspekt, to se može lako googliti, estetski je gadno, sa funkcionalnog aspekta nema smisla, jel se to koristilo u plemenima, da se raspozna ko je poglavica, ko je ratnik, ko je sakupljač hrane, znači kao hijerarhijski činovi u plemenu. Ili eventualno za kamufliranje kad loviš, kad treba da se krljaš s drugim plemenom i takve stvari, znaš. Estetski isto nigde veze, jel da je to umetnost, onda bi, brate, umetnici, ne znam, Da Vinci, Michelangelo i ta ekipa, razumeš, onda bi oni trtali po sebi i trčali goli po ulici da to svi ljudi vide, znaš, kao ne bi slikali na platnu, jebi ga, znaš. Mislim, kažem, ove stvari normalnim ljudima ne moraju da se objašnjavaju, ali jebi ga. 4, znaš, kao šta uopšte reći na 4, brate? Mislim da je jasno, brate, znaš, kao nema potrebe ništa da se kaže, znači nizak IQ, visoka neurotičnost, NPC stavovi, manjak identiteta, sve nešto najgore što možeš da asociraš sa intelektom, sa razvojem, sa jednostavno postojanjem čovjeka kao bića, to je to, razumeš. 5, influencerke, kao šta je to? Kao ljudi koji imaju utjecaj na nekog. A, drugi naziv, brate, za lenštinu, za lebaroša, za neradnika, za klošara, razumeš? Pa dobro. Mislim da je to više manje jasno, znaš, nema, znaš, nekad su ljudi htjeli da budu dobri radnici, zanatlije, ne znam, da se bave naukom, da budu sljedeći Tesla i to, danas hoće da budu influenceri, znaš. A dobro, šta se radi, jebi ga. Mislim da nema potrebe dalje to komentarisati. 6, medicinske sestre. To je težak. Problem sa medicinskim sestrama nije sama pozicija na poslu, to jest to što su medicinske sestre. Problem je što te žene imaju inklinaciju da ih se uhvati, znači na kamari, na gomili, na grupi, razumeš, sa doktorima, sa pacijentima i tako dalje. I to imaš, brate, pun internet toga, to nismo mi izmislili, kao jel mrzimo medicinske sestre, znaš, kao šta muškarci imaju s medicinskim sestrama, ništa, brate, ako si otišao u dom zdravlja, imaš posla s njom, ako nisi, nemaš, kao, znaš, ne postoji uopšte prostor u kome bi ti mogao da razviješ neki negativan odnos sa medicinskom sestrom, da bi ti imao nešto protiv nje, znaš. Nego jednostavno imamo, brate, oči, imamo uši, muškarci pričaju međusobno i znaš, ono što se kaže, kerovi laju, znaš. I jebi ga, tako je kako je, medicinske sestre su u prosjeku isto kao i stewardese, ne znam, ove što putuju, bla bla. I isto je to sve, bato, ista karina, razumeš? I 7, devojke koje su odrasle bez oca, isto više manje, to više manje isto koji i prvo, razumeš? Znači, da li je čale umro ili otišao, znaš, ako je umro, jebi ga, ako je otišao, već sam rekao u tački 1 zašto je otišao, znaš. I to je to. Narod ima i muškaraca debila, ne kažem, naravno, brate, okej, cool, sve to razumeš, ali u većini slučajeva su muškarci upravo ti, brate, koji žele porodicu. Jer muškarac kada napravi pare, on hoće, brate, porodicu, znaš. A žena kad napravi pare, ona kaže da joj niko ne treba. Mislim, tu svi znamo, nema tu nikakvih problema. Sad kad smo to objasnili, idemo, pogledamo malo u komentare. Ja ih neću sve čitati, nema potrebe, vidi se na ekranu. A dobro, mislim, retardacija nije ništa novo, idemo dalje. Muška verzija, dobro. Kaže, ovog neće nijedna svakako. Daj da vidimo ko je ta vrata riba, koja to kaže. Da. Ok. Sve jasno. Oni stetovirani između ostalog. Pa dobro. Da vidimo ko to kaže, brat. Trudim se, ali vrate, zašto su tu uvijek neke krompir face, razumeš, neki ono gadne likuše, ono koji ne liče ni na šta. Ili ne znam, ove gluperde, kao ova, kaže, upisat ću srednju medicinsku po stare dane, šta kao imaš 6 od 7, pa bih sad kao i 7. Ne, retarde, ovo nije lista postignuća. Ne bi trebalo da imaš ni jedno od ovih 7 idealno, ali neki mogu da su tolerišu, tako, ali druge ne mogu, znaš. Nije checkpoint lista, ne treba, nisu Pokemoni, ovo ne treba da skupljaš, retarde. Ovo je jedna od ovih debiluša sa nekog tamo debilnog podcasta. Mislim, čisto komentariše, razumeš, i gosti su joj, razumeš, vidiš. Znaš kao... Viš ti ovo, vrate moje. Pa kao... Šta još imamo? Braćo, nikad nemojte ženiti navedene, ženiti njega. Kao, ako kritikuješ žene, znaš, peder si. Znači, imaš samo 2 opcije kao muškarac, jedna da si peder, a druga je da ne kritikuješ žene. Ima smisla. Šta kaže, dobro, neću sada da ih čitam sve, Mi samohrane majke ne želimo da se udamo, jednom se zajebale, drugi put teško da ćemo to sebi dopustiti. Pozdrav za napađenog vrata. Pa vidi, s obzirom da si se ti zajebala i nisi znala to da proceniš, a ženina cijela poenta, sam tvoj posao, sve što se očekuje od tebe jeste da izabereš muškarca. Znači nemaš drugih nikakvih obaveza i očekivanja od društva. Realistično, ne ono što vi mislite da društvo očekuje od vas i to vi ste ono notorne gluperde, pa onda znaš, ali realistično jedini ženin posao jeste zapravo da izabere muškarac, to je jedini ženin i da osnuje porodicu, to je bukvalno jedini ženin posao i očekivanje. Tako da bi ja rekao, vrate, po tome da si ti napađena, neću ti još otvarati sliv profil, nema potrebe, znači ovo dođeš ovako i sve jasno. On govori više o sebi, onda debilne emoji, pošto ima 12 godina u glavi, i kao 2 od 7. Idemo dalje. 3 od 7, sad idem da upišem medicinu, samo da bi me ovakvi zaobilazili. Znaš šta meni nije jasno kod ovih komentara? Nije mi jasno zašto ribe pišu ovo sa nekim kao osjećajem ponosa. I su ovi ljudi stvarno ovoliko priglupi da ne znaju da ugucaju u Google definiciju riječi ponos, ili naš kao ne kapiram šta, ovo nije nikakav badge of honor, nije nikakav nagrada, nisi dobila ništa osim Darwinove nagrade, jer se nećeš razmnožiti, razumeš, znači, pa dobiš Darwinovu nagradu, a to mnogo kasnije, pre toga nećeš dobiti ništa, vrate. Možda da dobiš kituč, ali jer si glupo pa da malo proradi to, razumeš, pošto ti je, što kaže moj deda, u glavi ima jednu žicu koja drži uši da je ne spadnu s glave, znaš, i onda... Evo ga, 607. To moramo da otvorimo, boje moj, da imamo mi s čim imamo posla. Au, pa da, to je teška klasika, au. Ja. To nema potrebni komentari, sad tu vidiš sliku, vrate, sve jasno. Idemo dalje. Kaže, haha, sjajno, jedva čekam da vidim koga će onda oženi, na kraju će da završi s nekom koja je sve sa ovog spiska. Pa, i ako završi sa nekom koja je sa ovog spiska, a uzevši da ovo misli, znači da će se truditi da izbjegava ovakve. Ne znači li onda da su ovakve većina, ili ajde barem solidna populacija žena? Vidiš kako su glupe, brate, kako ne znaju da rezonuju, znaš, same sebe istroluju, same sebe ispljuju, ti samo treba da povežeš jednu tezu s drugom i kao, znaš, jednostavno jako su preglupe su te osobe koje su, znam sam dosadan s time, ja to stalno govorim, osobe koje veruju u ideologije, kome su potrebne ideologije da im govore šta da rade i šta da misle, kako se ponašaju, su jednostavno jako preglupe su, znači te osobe nemaju intelekt, brate. Znači na IQ testu one ne mogu da završe taj test, bez obzira što test nije napravljen sa kvalifikacionim sistemom, znači ne možeš da ga patneš, one bi uspele. Znaš, jer kao... Bla, bla, dobro, to smo već objasnili. Evo, klasika, za jedan nisam bukvalno krivio, ni da, brate, sigurno. Ajmo dalje. Ne, brate, morat ćeš da poražiš na tome što si glupa ko kurac, a veruj mi, 3-7 je već previše. Četiri, zato što se udala tek sa 40, do sad sam partijala. Nisi se ti, brate, udala, nego si usvojena. Znaš, taj te lik utomio s ulice. Znaš. Evo ga, to je taj komentar. Mogu jednostavno reći da je gej, nije mora da pravi spisak o tome zašto ne voli žene, pa ne postoji nešto što se zove kritika debilu. Ovako si gluplja malo, pa ne kapiraš. Vidim, ovo 88, to ti je vjerojatno da si 88 godište, znači istako ti je, vrate, rok trajanja i to sve ja kapiram. A, vrate, kritikovanje nečega ne znači da mrziš to nešto, jednostavno kritikovanje... Zašto uopšte to moram da objašnjavam? Mislim, čekaj. Znači, to ti je osoba, vrate, koja komentariše ovo, mislim, kao šta, sve jasno. Ima, vrate, stvarno previše autističnih moronki, razumeš? Eventualno ima pokoja koja nije možda tako loša, nego samo da kažemo zbunjena. Evo, na primjer, ova ovdje, kaže, ja odrasla bez oca i šta sad, to nije hendikep. Mislim, jeste, ali zar toliki? Pa ništa, ako si se izdigla iznad toga i ako si radila na sebi da te to ne ometa u odnosima s ljudima i da nemaš kompleksi i neke mentalne probleme vezano za to, onda nema veze, znaš. A ako nisi i to utiče na tebe, a time i na tvoje odnose sa ljudima, onda jeste problem. Znaš, tako funkcioniše. Šta kaže ova debela? A, dobro, mislim, klasično fat, chick cop, to ne potrebe. Idemo dalje. Evo, imamo tu neke simpove. Da, to je tipično. Ovo neću čitati, mislim objasnio sam zašto. Šta kaže vamo, sami se outaju. Dobro, to nije reč, ali okej. Outing je u najboljem slučaju slang, to nije reč u engleskom. Znači, moronko, nauči bar da pričaš svoj jezik ako misliš da, ovaj emoji znači da imaš 15 IQ, jasno, ali vrate, mogle se samo reći, ne znam, sami se otkrivaju, prikazuju, pokazuju, nebitno nas. A vrate, likuša u prezimenu ima naziv za vrstu kobasice, mislim, vratno tako izgleda, tako da naš komentar je jasan. Evo, klasična moronka, kaže, ova slika je prilika tuče žene, znači, trebalo bi početi tužiti ove idiote, kad pričaju ovakve gluposti, neosnovano loti, vrate, kleveta, naš. Mislim, biti to. Klošari, nema tu ništa novo, a, vrate, trebalo bi početi, ja bi ga tužiti, jer to ti jednostavno kleveta, naš, nema nikakvog opravdanja da ti sebi dozvoljavaš da pričaš neke stvari, razumeš? Znači, ako si ti bila tamo, fizički tamo, pa to vidjela, to je drugo, a sve ostalo nema veze s mozgom. Drago ti je, brate, jel ti je drago što će većina njih, ajde vidim po slikama, ti si našla simpa koji je tu udomio. Uspjela se da nakrkaš jedno dvoje djece, mrzim je da otvaram profil, nebitno. A da li ti je drago, brate, što većina ovih gluperdi ovdje neće se produžiti svoju vrstu, znaš? Evo još jedna retajka sa tim glupostima kao nasilnik pičke materne, ono aktivistička bingo karta, razumeš? Da ima šta kaže. A to ti klasično health, beauty, skincare, pičke materine. Znaš. Skincare and makeup entuzijasta. Wow. Stani. Kaže evidence based. Brate, pa ti ne možeš jednu rečenicu na Instagram komentarima da baziraš na dokazima, a ne nešto drugo. Ne znam što je ovo probalo da kaže, kakve su ovo metafore, jezički algoritmi, šta je ovo. A evo, nek mi neko prevede, vrate, ovo previše ženska pametne za mene, ne razumijem što ovdje piše. Strašno. Nisi, brate, udata, udomljena si, postoji razlika. Znaš, vidiš, nisi, brate, udata, udomljena si. Znaš, udomljena si. Znaš, ono kad vidiš kjera, mačku, lutalicu, to pa ih udomiš. Tako i taj neki nesretnik koji je pristao da bude s tobom, nije mogu bolje od tebe. Ti si u fazonu, ajde, iškurvala sam se, drogirala, pila, pušila, to sve. Aj sad, dobar mi šta kad me čedi alfa neće, znaš, kao može i ovaj beta, razumeš koga je, znaš. Bar mi više neće smarati selo, znaš. Hrišćanski talibani. Zašto ljudi imaju potrebu da pokušavaju da konstruišu metafore od reči koje su bukvalno suprotnog značenja? Ne možeš da budeš hrišćan i taliban. Mislim, ona vjerojatno ne zna značenje jedne od te dve reči, ali, brate, kao... Nas. Stupid as fuck. Dobro, ova moronka se pojavljuje često, to je manje više, idemo dalje. Šta? Šta je neki pederčina ili kao neki haha troll? Nebitno. Mislim devijenti ko devijenti. Šta kaže dalje? Aha, evo ga, 21. vek je argument, to sam čekao. Pa, tvoj deda je onda bio debil, znaš. To je delimično razlog što si i ti debil. Ne, zabrinjavajuće je to što retardi kao ti misle da zato što je XYZ vremenski opseg, razumeš, u izmišljenom sistemu merenja vremena koji je kalendar, da to sad kao nešto se promenilo. Što ti, brate, ne budeš tu fazonu, na primjer, 21. vijek, ajde da sebi odsječem ruku. Šta će mi? 21. vijek je, brate, postoje prosteze, što se kao 6 ruka, brate. Znaš, uvijek ovi idioti koriste ono što je nazivamo retard štit. Znaš, kao 21. vijek je i sad kao to je opravdanje da se ponašamo kao retardi, znaš, kao ajmo biti degenerici, ali kao eto 21. vijek je, pa zašto ne? Znaš, ovakve osobe zapravo pokazuju da ne bi smele da žive uopšte u tom modernom vremenu, ne zaslužuju ga. Ovakve osobe zaslužuju da žive tamo pre nove ere, da se pate kao ljudi koji su živjeli pre nove ere, da bi shvatili neke stvari. Očigledno im je komfor i previše lag život, sjeba mozak i onda više ne mogu da rezonuju, znaš. Mislim kao stani. Da. Znači, tipična moronka, mrzi mi da otvaram u cipu, kao... Kaže, brat, šta da ženiš? Pa ništa, bato, zato što ženjenje nema poente u današnje vrijeme, ova koment sekcija ti je razlog, ja više manje i argumenti, šta god hoćeš. I generalno, ovo šta god da je. Znaš, jer ako ovo tu oženiš, što kaže ona, kako ide ona, ko oženi pevačicu, opština ga sahrani, znaš, to ti to. Neke vamo gluposti, dobro, kao ženite muškarce, bla bla, bla bla. Koliko ima, brate, znači, šta je ovo, ajde rođe, ajde, listaj. Vidi ovo jebote život. A najčešće što pola ovih, ne pola komentara, nego sam snimanje sam morao zapravo da sve ovo odscrollujem i na svaki ovaj bullshit da stisnem show replies, znaš, da bi pogletio. Isto neka moronka s nekim autistima, a da, dobro, slike. Ovo neću uopšte čitam, znači, nema potrebe. I evo, stigli smo do kraja, pa ću samo par zadnjih komentara. Bozdovan. Eto, vrate, pa si ti intelektualk. Bednik. Kaže, isto neka, moronka. Dobro. Ajde, kaže ovo. Jedna od bedastoća mreža kada nekompetentne osobe dijele određene savjete, ona je vjerojatno doktor nauka, a zapravo otkrivaju svoju bezgraničnu glupost i zanemarivanje sebe i svoje ličnosti. Dobro, pretužno. Ajde ko je ta osoba, vrate? Po čemu je ona, vrate, kompetentna? Idemo doktor nauka. Šta kaže ovdje? Master, grafički dizajn, znači oni fakulteti gdje dođeš sa olovkom i izađeš s olovkom. Jel olovka je sve što treba da bi ga završio. Ilustracije, znači YouTube tutoriale, razumeš, i ne znam, Adobe paket. Dobro. Visual communication. Šta je to, vrate, nešto iz Zvezdnih staza? Dobro. Designer for video graphics. Dobro. I evo ga. I sad ova osoba je, brate, kompetentna da komentariše, znaš, društvene probleme. Da. Ništa, ovo je bio drugi deo videa od 3. U nastavku, to jest u trećem dijelu, ću samo da stavim kompilaciju ženskih ponašanja, prevara i tih nekih stvari, čisto da bi se razumelo zašto mi muškarci mislimo to što mislimo i zašto to što mislimo je prezentovano kroz ovakve liste.
Welcome to the Leonardo Joni Show. Today we're going to be talking about retarded women, which some of you might say is redundant. But I guarantee you we're not all retarded. Just some of us, especially those of us that have been totally had by the Marxist feminist agenda that has pretty much destroyed women's brains. We'll be starting with a few topics today. The first one we'll be starting is this video I came across that was covered by Woman Propaganda. That's the guy, right? He does a lot of reaction videos if you guys want to follow him on X. He's got some great takes, pretty funny. They're what would be considered, conservative takes, but like actual conservative takes, not this gay fake conservative takes where they're like, we like trans people that vote Republican. It's like actual funny stuff. So he found this video on TikTok, which I thought was kind of unbelievable. And I want to talk about it because, listen, when I do this stuff, I'm trying to warn other women who might be misled by goblins like this. Okay. Rule number 1, ladies, don't listen to an ugly woman. Got it? Ugly women are not to be trusted. They want to destroy you and your relationships because they're ugly. So they can't stand to see good-looking women prosper. So number 1, you have to stop with the bullshit. Everybody's beautiful. Some people are ugly, okay? And it's like God's warning you, don't listen to this goblin. Number 1. Number 2, don't listen to fat women, which kind of ties into ugly, but not every fat woman is ugly, but a lot of ugly women are fat. Okay, but just don't listen to fat women either. Fat women will always tell you the best way to lose weight, which already is like. So let's just take the.
I want your wife to start walking around half naked again, then stop trying to jump her every time she is. My husband loves when I walk around in my underwear, but there was a time I couldn't even get dressed in the same room out of fear of being grabbed and fondled.
Was that time when you were younger and hotter? She's about to tell you that she trained her husband how to not touch her. And the truth is, she just got ugly and fat. That's actually what happened. And now she wants to make it like, oh, that was my idea. I didn't really like being touched and grabbed.
This is what he did to get me to act more like I did when we first started dating. First, he had to make me feel comfortable enough. Now, it's no secret. You love getting a little glimpse of your wife changing or showering, but do you always have to act like a little boy who just got the last cookie from the cookie jar? My husband stopped trying to jump me every single time I was half naked. My husband loves when I walk.
Once again, because you got ugly and fat. That's why. I don't know what you think you did. All right, let's just finish this up.
Getting ready in front of the bathroom mirror. He stopped.
Just cheat, bro. Just cheat on her. Did you?
She said he stopped. I'm just going to mute him because I don't have the original video, but I want to talk about. I mean, this guy's funny, by the way. But I want to read what she says here. Okay, he stopped smothering me with his words and groping me every time I was getting ready in front of the mirror, grabbing my vagina on the outside of my clothes, or making sure I saw or felt his heart on every time he got one. By the way, most women don't want any of this. Stop speaking for us. You're ugly. Don't tell me what I want. Show more confidence and less desperation. Bro, I really hope to God that this woman's not actually married. And if she is married, I don't know, man, that poor guy has been totally beat down by a below mid. Let's zoom in on this. I mean, look at that, huh? Look at that. She's talking about to the guy be less desperate and more confident. Where are you getting where are these ugly women getting their confidence from? I want to know. Seriously. Fat women, I know, they get their confidence from black dudes and Puerto Ricans hitting on them. But ugly women, what is it? Is it the Mexicans that are coming in and hitting on you that make you think you're special? Mexicans can't see your face because they can't recognize different faces on white people, just the same way we can't recognize different faces on them. So they just see blonde hair, they think she must be hot. Okay, she says this thing, which is the most ridiculous thing ever. She says, no woman likes to see your heart on every... That's a lie, dude. Now, if I'm riding the subway and some grizzled, mentally ill, homeless guy wants to show me his heart on, no, I don't want to see that. But my husband, the one that I married, the one that I'm supposed to be attracted to, the one who's supposed to be attracted to me, yeah, I want to see his heart on. I want to know that he still gets hot for me. I want to know that I'm still attractive to him. How can that be a bad thing? This is what happens when women don't have any problems. They have to invent them. She literally has everything. How do I know? Look at the sleeve tattoos. She probably runs some bake shop in a liberal town like Portland that charges $7 for a cupcake, totally detached from reality. So now she's got to invent problems. My husband gropes me too much.
Hey, let go of me. I can do it myself. Didn't see that there, did you?
A lot more that goes into it. So if you're judging me for what I'm wearing, then you will also be judged for 20 times million than that. It's the heart posture. Jesus loves you.
Why is it? You know what's interesting, right? Yeah. Women judge men all the time. Is he tall enough? Does he make enough money? Is he cool? Is he competent? Does he like dogs? Is he a good guy? Women judge men all the time, but if we reciprocate and say, well, you know, I don't want a girl that dresses a certain way or whatever, that's considered discrimination or judging. But you guys judge us.
I've never said you're discriminating.
Way more.
You're judging.
Women judge men all day. Hold on.
I'm how tall they are.
I just find it incredible how women judge men all day. And then if we go ahead and say, well, no, we're going to judge women too. We have standards as well. Oh, why are you judging me? Yeah, maybe it's because we have to put way more skin in the game to attract you guys. Maybe that's why. Because men have to be the protectors and the providers, and we don't want to get embarrassed with our girl. Maybe it's because a woman's past matters to a man's future. Maybe it's because if you're a whore, you're not going to be able to take care of our family. Maybe it's because we don't want to be. But
I actually have found that I think men are more likely to have bizarrely unrealistic expectations. I had so many girlfriends who are highly accomplished, highly educated, great people, and just wonderful women. And the dating pool is absolutely brutal for them.
What are these men looking for?
It is entirely unclear to me that it's like, why are their men not jumping to want to date them? So,
well, Alicia, those are not bizarre and unrealistic expectations, because reality is that ultimately men want to build a family, okay? And most men don't want to be with an accomplished and educated woman because those women are entitled, demanding, and a pain to deal with. Even different studies will tell you that that's the case. So most of your accomplished and educated friends are very likely to end up with a cat instead of a family, just like Whoopi.
Just ignore almost everything that women say, because it's almost all bullshit. Because you ask women, like, what do you want in a guy, and then you look at the last 20 guys they fucked, and they have like almost none of those things on the list, which is why like women dating coaches are just like such a waste of time, because there's what women say they want, and then there's what they respond to, and what they respond to is what's important, right? And I don't think a lot of them understand like the subconscious response mechanisms too.
What do women really want?
I don't care what they want. I only care what they respond to. See, my focus is a little bit different from your other guests. There's what women say they want, there's what women think they want, and then there's what they actually respond to. I'm not an academic, I'm not a theoretician. I'm interested in what works on the street when it's time to date and mate. And what women actually respond to is not what they say they want.
So what do they respond to?
They really respond to a guy who's a challenge, a guy who's a question mark, a guy who keeps them guessing. You see, in the beginning, the less attractive you are physically, the more you have to rely on your attitude. Average looking, even ugly guy who goes out there in the real world and tries to be a nice guy, gets his head kicked in.
So no more Mr. Nice Guy.
You can be pleasant. You see, we've got to define our terms. By nice, I mean accommodating. When you accommodate, you get what the commode gets. You get the crapola. You have to learn how to say no to a woman.
What do you mean, Alex, anti-man laws in America? Are you insane? I mean, I searched in Google and it says there is no such thing. Now, I do have to remind you that this is actually one of many reasons why Kamala Harris lost to Donald Trump, and it's because of this moment.
Can we try to think of any law that gives the government the power to make a decision?
I know what you're gonna ask.
About a man's body.
No.
Is there any law?
No.
Yes, even our vice president at that time had no idea that there is such a thing as anti-man law. And in this case, of course, we were talking about the draft. And if she didn't know the answer to that question, she probably should have asked any Ukrainian man fighting in that war while their sisters and wives and daughters are sipping tea in Sweden and Poland. And many of you American men watching this video have no clue that the laws and the culture have turned against you. As a matter of fact, when I was researching this video was supposed to be called Top 5 Anti-Man Laws in America, but as I searched, it wasn't that long until I realized there are way more. So now it is top 10. Now there are more than 10, I assure you. And a lot of you will probably say, well, Alex, these laws are not exactly saying that this is anti-man. Well, technically you would be right, but for some odd reasons, most of them affect over 95% of men and pretty much no women. Go figure. All right, the number one anti-man law that I've already mentioned, and hopefully by now somebody informed the Vice President Harris, is the mandatory draft. It's very simple. If there is a war, all men would be required to do something with their body they may not want to, but stay and fight and possibly die for their country, while women would be free to go, just like Ukrainian women, to go to other countries, sip the nice tea with croissants and, not die. Number two, child support and custody. A lot of men lose custody over their own children, even though they want to spend more time with them because of the way the court system and the law works. And of course, the child support, one of the biggest scams in America, the anti-man scams in America, because when you pay child support, for some reason, depending on how much you make, the diapers cost so much more for your ex-wife, and you're not writing the check to the store selling the diapers, to the schools, to the clothing stores. No, the money goes directly to your ex-wife, and then she decides how much of it actually goes to a child, which, as we know, most of the time, a small amount. Number three, the alimony. This is one of those anti-man laws that kind of snuck up on men because originally it was designed for a good reason. But things are very different now except for the laws. This is a concept that after you get divorced, and a lot of times it could be because the woman cheated or stopped performing her wifely duties, for whatever reason, you are required to provide the most important thing that you had to provide as a husband, while she does no longer require to do the same. Alimony law is literally the same as if the tables were reversed and we would be forcing women give blowjobs to their ex-husbands. Of course, if you're a man living in America or in one of the Western countries, I would recommend that you never, ever, ever get legally married. There's absolutely no benefits to a man to get married in the Western country, only drawbacks, and alimony is one of the biggest. Number four, the consent laws that a lot of times put innocent men in jail for rape. That's right, you can go to a party, meet a girl, sleep with her, and the next day get arrested for rape. And the concept there is that any man should be able to determine if a woman had enough drinks where she can no longer legally consent, even though you've never met her, you don't know what she's like when she's drinking. She could have had a lot of drinks but not show it. But if she decides the next day that she wants to file rape charges, you're going to jail. And of course, this goes hand in hand with the new modern concept that women should take no responsibilities for their actions or words ever in American and Western societies. So, if you are not 100% perfect legal scholar to determine whether or not a girl can give you consent, even though she literally just did, you can go to jail. Now, to me, and this is what I would like to fight for if this channel gets any popularity or traction, is that consent is actual consent. If a girl essentially either says yes with her words or actions, but at the very least does not say no. And the responsibility it is on her whether or not she decides to get drunk, because she knows when she gets drunk way better than a stranger that she just met, and decides whether or not she wants to put herself in a position where she may not make the best decision for herself and actually take responsibility for that. Number 5, domestic violence laws. As we found out very recently with all of the data that's coming out, is that a lot of times it's the women that are the aggressors in a domestic violence cases. As a matter of fact, I've already made a video about this, that last year, in the entire year, every single person who I personally knew who was a victim of the domestic violence was a man, and not a single one as a woman. This happens a lot. But a lot of times, what happens is a woman attacks a man. He defends himself a lot of times simply by holding her down or pushing her back. And as a stronger man, you know, going against a weaker woman that a lot of times bruises much easily, when the cops show up, guess who's got the marks and guess who doesn't? And all the police needs, because of the laws, is a scratch or a mark, which once again, women are much easier to get. And even though a lot of times women are the aggressors, the men who are simply defending themselves are the ones going to jail for domestic violence. That has to change. Number 6, wrongful paternity. I can't even believe this, and I had to research it. But even if after a while it turns out that you're not actually the father of the child you thought was yours, even if the DNA test proves that, you are still required to pay the child support you have already paid to the woman. I'm going to fight for the laws, and I hope you join me, where a paternity test is a must-do when a woman gives birth and puts a man on a certificate of a birth certificate. Without it, no name should go on a birth certificate. And if a woman does trick a man and everybody else this way, not only she has to pay the child support back with interest, high interest, but she also needs to do some time for essentially committing a crime. Number 7, the child support. Now, I know what you're saying, Alex, you already did that. I did. There's another set of laws for a completely different reasons that we need to talk about. And that's the case when a man does not have any say in whether or not the woman gets to keep the baby in the states where abortions are legal, but still is required to pay child support. I would also like that law to be a little bit more fair. If a woman decides to keep the child, since it's her choice, again, in those states who allow for that, then the man doesn't have to pay child support if he doesn't want to, right? Your body, your choice, you say, which is okay with me, but with that choice come the responsibilities, and it is your choice. You shouldn't be making it for the man. Number 8 is the DEI and affirmative action laws that are slowly going away, but it is essentially where employers are required to hire women over men with the same qualifications. As a matter of fact, there was a recent law in California that was passed where companies were required to have so many women no matter what on their board of directors. Now, luckily, that law was struck down as unconstitutional, but these practices continue over and over and over again, even though women have done pretty well for themselves. Number 9 is actually a lack of a law that would protect a man against false accusation from women. As we know, it is a national pastime now for women in America to accuse a man of something he's never done, just so that man can have his reputation ruined or career taken away, just because she's mad at him. I've already made multiple videos about celebrities that had to go through this, and therefore we have evidence that are now public knowledge. This happens all the time, but most of the time it happens to regular men who cannot defend themselves against this horrible crime, which is not the crime. A woman can lie about it, ruin a man's life, and absolutely not be liable for any damages and not go to jail. I would suggest that we change that and pass the law, and therefore we need to support the politicians of whatever party who would promise us this, support the law that would put women in jail for accusing men of all kinds of horrible things, knowing that they've never done that. Number 10 are government-funded pro-women programs that give a lot of money to women and pretty much never to men. That, for example, includes abuse victim shelters. There's only one shelter for men in entire America, where women have shelters all the time, even though we, as I mentioned earlier in this video, men are victims of domestic violence at alarmingly high numbers that I would suggest are quite equal to the other side. So these laws are consistently being passed as budgets where all of that money is going to women, especially for college funding. More than 60% of women now are graduating for college. If anybody that needs funding are the men who are attending colleges, but yet we continuously giving more and more and more money to women. Our tax money, right? Men pay into taxes, so that money can be given to women simply because they are women for no good reason whatsoever. That needs to stop as well. Now, I can keep going and going with this for a while now, but I encourage you to Google and do your own research, especially if you're a man living in America or another Western country, so you can realize how badly you're being screwed, essentially to the point where you're a second-class citizen. I encourage you to start demanding from the politicians that you want to vote for that men's rights issues and laws is part of their agenda. Feeling like I was a second-class citizen in America simply because I was a white man was one of many reasons why I left America to live in a country where I don't feel that way anymore. And I encourage you to do the same. Now, the number one reason I left was just because I didn't want to deal with modern women. I wanted to date traditional women, and Southeast Asia, where I'm actually in Bali right now, but I live in Thailand, was a much better place. And if you want to actually do this, what me and many other men have done to get away from all that bullshit and inequality, essentially, go to themillionmanproject.com, and that's where I've outlined every single step that you need to take to accomplish this. And this is not only paradise with blue skies and amazing oceans and people. This is paradise for those men who want actual equal rights and access to good traditional marriage material women.
Jeans are brown. Sounds like I shit my pants.
The woke outrage over Sydney Sweeney's ad has gone from, well, bad to worse.
Some people have taken issue with the phrase great genes being used over images of a blonde, blue-eyed woman.
If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
TikTok and Twitter absolutely blew up with thousands and thousands of people calling this ad fascist propaganda. Yes, they literally took the jeans and jeans pun to be some kind of Nazi dog whistle because Sydney Sweeney is an attractive blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman, which apparently has been an extinct species for so long in advertisement that when people saw this, they got scared and thought they saw the ghost of Hitler. Is Sydney Sweeney a Nazi? No. But do these people kind of have a point about this ad? Also no, they are unwell. But let's hear them out. Let's watch some of these TikToks. Let's listen to them, listen to their points. We're not gonna be mean. We're not gonna own the libs, okay? We are going to hear them out.
You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, so I went and saw it. That's Nazi propaganda.
Holy 2014 Tumblr. What the f? Out here looking like she walked straight out of a Stone Toss comic. Looking like you're going on the thumbnail of this video. Listen, if your bangs end in the middle of your forehead, you don't have to tell me your political opinions. I know them. I can tell. Okay, sorry. I got it out of my system. Let's continue.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like fascist weird. Like Nazi propaganda weird.
So this commercial was apparently a reference to an old Brooke Shields commercial from the 80s.
The secret of life lies hidden in the genetic code. Genes are fundamental in determining the characteristics of an individual and passing on these characteristics to succeeding generations. This may result in the origin of an entirely new species, which brings us to Calvin's and the survival of the fittest.
Calvin Klein jeans.
Oh my god, she turns into a swastika. She was like 14 in that ad, by the way. Really creepy. So at least Sydney Sweeney is of legal age. 14 is actually pretty old for Brooke Shields if you know her history and her lore. If anything, that is the most up thing about this Sydney Sweeney ad, referencing an old ad of a child star who was abused by Hollywood. But yeah, it was a callback to an old commercial. And Sydney Sweeney is the current day hot celebrity, so they chose to do it with her. They unfortunately failed to consider the fact that in current year, white people are not allowed to say that they have good genes because that is Nazi propaganda.
A blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda.
You don't get to drop lines about inherited traits, blue eyes, and great genes while zooming in on somebody that could have walked straight off of a Nazi propaganda poster.
A white, blonde, blue-eyed, Hitler's wet dream talking about how much she loves her genetics.
It's not just giving eugenics, it's giving male fantasy.
I like how eugenics and being attractive to men are like equally terrible things to these people.
Sydney Sweeney's jeans ad is giving ethnic state propaganda. It is giving dystopian. It is giving 1940s Germany.
Why do they all speak the same? Why do they all do the same shit? They all say the same shit. It's giving. It's giving.
Put a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned woman in an ad and say she has good genes. I don't know if I can say this, but it's literally giving Nazi propaganda.
It's giving. Also, the flesh-colored microphone? Why? It's giving dick, okay? It's giving penis. It's giving cock.
I can't believe I actually have to explain this, but there is a reason that they picked a girl named Sydney Sweeney for this ad, and it's not just her blonde hair and her blue eyes. Sydney Sweeney is laying with her German Shepherd dog in this shoe. Her name is Sydney Sweeney, so her initials are SS. They intentionally included her German Shepherd dog in the photo shoot.
Oh my god. Take your meds. Meds. Her name is Sydney Sweeney. Her initials are SS, like the Nazis. The dog is a German Shepherd. German, like the Nazis. Are they putting crack in birth control nowadays? What is going on? She is a hot woman. She is a hot woman because of the way she looks. She looks the way she looks because of genetics. She has great genes. That is how a normal person sees it. She's blonde and has blue eyes and her initials are SS and she has a German Shepherd. Is how a schizophrenic, politically brain-rotted person sees it.
Hi, thanks for calling American Eagle. This is Jess. How can I help today?
Hi, I am a marketing student and was wondering if I could speak to someone who could maybe give me some insight as to what estimated return on investment there has to be willing to use white supremacy and eugenics as your marketing campaign.
On a marketing campaign?
Harassing some poor worker. Doesn't even fucking speak English. Has all to do with the commercial. These people are sick.
Yes, I recently saw American Eagle's eugenics marketing campaign where they used that white blonde girl and talked about how good her genes were in a time where racism is rampant in the U.S.
I see. Thank you for taking time to share your feedback.
Why are you bothering this random-ass Filipino woman with your West Wing-ass TED Talk? Nobody gives a f***.
Okay, so there's no way to, as a student, I can't learn about when eugenics makes sense in marketing? No one on the marketing team can talk to me about that?
I miss like 50 years ago when these people would just be serial killers instead of doing whatever the f*** this is. She's even got other celebrities seething.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue,
Haha, she did a dumb redneck voice, get it? Cause all white people are dumb inbred hicks? Good one, Doja. Hey, by the way, why are you pandering to the same exact people who got your ass cancelled for wearing a Sam Hyde shirt once? They all think you're racist too, girl, but nice try. Hope they see this.
Doja Cat is making fun of Sydney Sweeney's ad only because she realized after all those years of her kissing up to white supremacists, they're never going to accept her because she's a half black woman. Wearing the Sam Hyde shirt, you dating all these white supremacists. So make fun of the ad all you want, but we'll never forget you rolling around in those chat rooms showing white supremacists your feet so they could make fun of your black ass.
Oh, they did see it, and they still hate you.
Weird adverts aside about how the best genes are characterized in a conventionally attractive white, blonde, blue-eyed woman. Not true. I mean, look at me. Within 5 years, or as soon as she shows any sign of aging, that's it. The moment she becomes visibly over 25.
Enjoy the ride now, babe, before you get too old and ugly and hit the wall. But wokely. This is just something I've noticed in the decade of criticizing feminism on the internet. Male feminists are the most misogynistic, sexist freaks ever when they finally have an acceptable, approved target to go after. God forbid you are a woman with the incorrect opinion, because hell hath no fury like a male feminist replying to you.
A strawberry blonde, blue-eyed woman marketing having great genes. This is just a whole fucking eugenics campaign, and I, for one, would like to throw myself off a balcony.
Do it. Do a backflip, live stream it. Also, these people just straight up don't know what the eugenics movement is. Talking about genetics is not eugenics. Sydney Sweeney did not say she had the best genes or superior genes or that other people had bad, inferior genes. Someone even made it like a fake ad, like, Beyonce has better genes, and it's like, why'd you pick the picture where she has like a blonde wig on?
This campaign is poking at women's greatest and most tender insecurity under the patriarchy, which is desirability and the beauty standard. It affects not only non-white women, even though this is clearly white supremacist, Aryan race propaganda, but it also adversely affects the majority of white women who do not naturally have blonde hair and blue eyes. Because yes, even the women who can achieve this look have to do it through artificial means in one way or another. The vast majority of white women are not naturally blonde. And of course, lots of white women are also insecure about having brown eyes. So that's a whole generation of young white women who are being further propagandized to purchase blonde hair dye and contacts for the rest of all time.
Okay, what? Are attractive women just not allowed to model anymore because, like, God forbid it makes some other women insecure? And as someone with brown eyes, I've never once felt insecure about having brown eyes. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna get into hyperborea, but I've seen myself photoshopped with blue eyes. Horrifying. So we've gone from Nazi propaganda to genocide to racism to now poor little girls are gonna feel insecure because they don't have blue eyes like Sydney Sweeney.
Another thing about the Sydney Sweeney beauty standard that is very important to note is that big boobs are a hallmark of what conservative men are attracted to. At the end of the early 2000s and through the 2010s, we were becoming a more progressive society, and so we also naturally progressed to be a more ass-centric society.
In the 2000s, we were becoming more progressive, so we started objectifying women's butts. What? The communist utopia will be ass-centric, apparently. I didn't know the ass first thing was political. How does she know conservatives are all boob men? Conservatives in the audience, are you a boobs or butt guy? What political affiliation are the feet men? Libertarians. Listen, they can try to disguise it with their little intersectionality buzzwords all they want, but at the end of the day, women just want a socially acceptable reason to hate other women. That's it.
Good genes passed on to offspring? That American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is literally overt eugenics. I know you don't want to hear this, but if you want to talk about how that ad is promoting eugenics, which it absolutely is, we also have to talk about how choosing not to wear a mask when you can during an ongoing pandemic, because you're okay with a certain subset of people, primarily disabled people of color, dying for your own comfort, is also eugenics.
1 second. "2025. We are talking about wearing masks for COVID in 2025. I like how she's woke scolding the other woke scolds for not woke scolding about her particular pet issue. COVID broke the brains of so many of these people, man. It's because it's when the world was just a giant, safe HR longhouse where it was socially acceptable for them to be moral busybodies and never leave their home. It was like the closest to their lib shit utopia that we have ever gotten, and they miss it.
I remember growing up in a predominantly white community, wishing myself out of this body, out of this culture, take my name, if it meant that I could wake up blonde-haired and blue-eyed, never having to explain who I am or worry about being accepted. That is why this American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is especially off-putting.
Listen, I'm sorry that happened to you, but we live in a predominantly white country. If you go to another country, there will be a different beauty standard. If you go to the country of your ancestors, there will be a different beauty standard, and maybe it will look more like you. But again, she didn't say her genes were better or the best, and it's not like all the hot popular celebrities look like Sydney Sweeney. Look at Ana de Armas, look at Zendaya. They don't look anything like Sydney Sweeney, and they are known as very beautiful around Hollywood. This is why corporations and the media think in order to pander to the female gaze, everything has to be like average and frumpy and ugly, because women can't stop fucking projecting their insecurities. Not every character in a movie or a video game has to look like you. Not everyone in an ad has to look like you. Hell, the only time I see people who look like me is when I turn on the live-action Grinch movie. You notice men never say this shit, by the way? They usually go like, wow, that man is strong. I don't look like that. I'm gonna go to the gym. And women are like, wow, that woman is thin. I don't look like that. I'm gonna go complain.
What to make Sydney Sweeney's genes better? Like, why did you get that joke? All us woke people are saying is that it's just a little bit weird to directly reference European genes as better.
Again, she never said that her genes were better. You are making shit up.
Now, when you think of the all-American girl, like the standard of like American beauty, you probably think blonde hair, blue eyes, white girl, right? You're not supposed to think that way.
You're not supposed to think that way, guys. That's double plus ungood.
That's ingrained in you because of negative things that have been pushed on you by society.
When you think about the all-American woman, you should be thinking about an obese, transgender, disabled woman or something. What would be an acceptable vision of the American woman for this person? It's insane she's saying that we think Sydney Sweeney is hot because of negative things that have been pushed on us by society. No, bitch. We have eyes. And just because she is attractive does not mean you are also not attractive. Look at your full lips. That is a standard of beauty I'll never live up to, but that's okay, because I have other things that are beautiful and unique about me, just like you have other things that are beautiful and unique about you, regardless if Sydney Sweeney is held up as the American beauty standard. These are lessons your mother should have taught you, not a YouTuber. It's International Women's Day. Let's do a female version of that video. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are once again taking a break from the men and focusing on the fairer sex, women. You wanted equality, ladies? Well, here it is. Today, we are looking at the female dating strategy. It's 2025, and apparently the men have given up on approaching us. 45% of men ages 18 to 25 have apparently never approached a woman in person, which is honestly, like, so pathetic. Like, what are you scared of, Zoomers? That women are gonna film your sad attempts to hit on them and post them on TikTok for the world to see? That doesn't happen. But it seems like in order to get a date and save ourselves from crippling loneliness or eventual depopulation, the women have started really upping their game and becoming more assertive. Too assertive. Many people say that all a woman has to do to get a date is just stand there. Doesn't matter how fat, ugly, socially awkward you are, just stand there. Just stand there and a man will come to you. While men have to put in more effort. They have to be handsome, tall, rich, well-groomed. Where were we? Ah, yes. Women. Can't live with them? So let's just dive into this dumpster fire, shall we? I love your tattoos. Thank you. Can you not send me a smile face? I have a boyfriend. Alright. Off to a great start. Hey. Hi. Thanks for liking my pic. You're fit, by the way. Welcome, and thanks. I have a boyfriend. Sorry. You're hot. Thanks. I have a boyfriend. Okay, Schizo, just wanted to let you know that our date was the worst date I've ever been on ever, and I hope you die in a tragic car fire, loser. I'm really glad I dodged a bullet here. Best wishes. So you're not even gonna try to apologize for the bad date or try to make things work? You're just an ugly shit person. Glad I won't have to deal with you again. Good luck being alone forever. You just told him you hope he dies in a tragic car fire. Why the f would he apologize? Or better yet, try and make things work. Next. They can't all be this crazy, right? Right? Hey, you probably didn't really notice me, but I was in your physics class and I thought you were really cute and I got your number from your friend. Oh, hi. Who'd you get my number from? Justin? I was wondering if you want to maybe go out for coffee or something else like that sometime this week. I'm flattered, but I don't think I'm interested. LMAO, what the f? You don't even know who I am. I'm not trying to offend you, I'm just uninterested. LMAO, you're not even worth my time. It was more pity than anything, LMAO. Don't f***ing talk to me anymore. LMAO, you thought I'd be interested in you. You're f***ing delusional. Messing up a chance with me, LMAO, you're lost anyway. I'm out of your league. Go f*** yourself, stupid asshole. I love seeing someone's true colors and realizing how disgusting they are on the inside. This is a common theme you'll see here. Woman messages man, man rejects woman, woman freaks out and says she was never interested anyway. Bitch, you were so interested. You went out of your way to get his number from his friend. But yeah, you're not interested. Cope. Next! I'm not sure about seeing you again. Alright, good night. Wow, that's it? Seriously? Okay, now I realize that was a huge mistake. How rude. You just pissed me off and I never get mad. Don't be immature and ignore me. I can get any guy I want to. I don't need you. My uncle is the old governor here and worked for the embassy. My family has power. You are nothing. Goodbye. See, I was always thought no means no, but apparently no means get back here and try harder. Hey, please delete my number. I'm sorry, who is this? Oh, hey, yeah, I didn't save it, so you're good. The f***? Why? What is the matter with you? We had 2 really nice dates and you don't want to see me now? You're probably a cocksucker anyways. Don't know how to handle a real woman. No wonder your wife left you, f***. They really want these men to be like, oh please, no, please, please, give me another chance, please, please, queen, just a crumb, please, please, just a sniff, queen, please. And then when they don't do that, when the men are just like, okay, bye, they're like, how dare you reject me, queen of the universe, you f***. What are your thoughts about being with someone who is cute in a broken kind of way? I'm not really sure I understand what you're talking about, but if you're talking about yourself, I hardly even know you. It's just that I'm cute, but broken. Bro. Run. Hello? Talk to me? To think I was going to sleep with you, but you up and ghosted me, piece of crap. No woman will ever love you like I would have. I'm going to have to ask you not to message me anymore, thanks. F*** you. You're worthless. Nobody will like you. You should hang yourself. What's crazy is, I know this is like some of you people's dream girl right here. You all want the yandere anime girlfriend until you actually have one in real life, trust me. Hey, hi, hey. What's up? Send me a sick pic on SC. We are having a Riz off and I want to win. What? P.S. babe. I want to put each of your balls in my nostrils and inhale until they're behind my head and I'm high on your stank. Oh! Oh, wow. Is this the female version of like, I would drag my balls across 1,000 miles of broken glass to hear you fart through a walkie-talkie? Is that what I'm looking at right now? Beautiful. 10-10, no notes. Don't expect to hear from me again. I'm horny. Ah yes, the duality of woman. Hey, I had fun last week. Would you want to meet up at Samson's or something tomorrow? It was pretty fun, but I need to be honest. I sensed some strange aura about you when we met. You seem cool and everything, don't get me wrong, but I just don't think we're compatible. Strange aura. Okay, already a bright red flag here, but let's keep going. I really do appreciate the honesty, especially after some of the experiences I had, but I'll be honest, strange aura is pretty vague. Could you elaborate a bit, just so I can know what to work on? I just don't think we're compatible is all, especially with our morals. I'm an extreme advocate for freedom and rights for everyone, but I just don't get that vibe from you, and I want to avoid another potentially toxic, controlling relationship. Like, I love that you showed me your guitar and played a few songs and showed me your playlist, but the things I noticed is the lack of diversity in it. It was all white men, which you may not think is bad, but speaks volumes to me about you as a person. Wow, you're serious? Yes? Alright, good luck finding someone with a mindset like that. Alright, you don't have to be an asshole about it. I was being nice and passive as possible explaining that to you. Point proven too, you and every other guy can't take simple constructive criticism because it hurts your immature little egos. I know it's no big deal to you, but outside of your little cocoon, people struggle every day and you clearly could care less. I wonder what the guy who schedules your gigs would say if he knew he pays a racist asshole to play at his venue. Oh my god. There is so much to unpack here. Let's just dump the whole suitcase out. First of all, I never get tired of how equality to these people is just like literally when things are 50-50. Like your Spotify playlist has to literally be 50% men and 50% women, or else you're a toxic partner. Like, I'm sorry, but if a man was specifically forcing himself to listen to female artists that he didn't even like out of some like political move, that is a red flag. That is some performative lib shit. That is the type of man you have to avoid. Also, I love that little thread at the end, like trying to get him fired from his gigs. 10-10, pure cinema. Lol, I don't know. I get weird when I'm in a good mood. Like, I'll accidentally rip a guy. It's crazy. What the f***? Okay. Could you imagine a man, like, when I'm in a good mood, I'll just rip a woman. I'll just start rapping. Literally a video of anal sex. Hi. What the actual? What? The video? The one you sent starting this whole conversation? What? Why? Did you seriously send me a vid of you having sex? Yeah. What the f***? Did you just send me a video of anal sex without my consent? Yeah, and? The Chad sexual harasser